Hey, welcome to video number 106 of Walker This Way with Hazel Walker, the queen of all things
BNI and networking.
I am Mark Simmons. You may have missed us for a little bit, but we're back. We're back. And actually, there was one member who said they noticed that we've been missed for a little bit, which is kind of cool.
That is kind of cool. That at least
cool.
Someone's paying attention and they missed us.
Yeah. So Hazel, here's the thing. You know what I don't like?
I do know you don't like the dentist. You don't like needles. You don't like jazz. See, correct. I know some things you don't like.
And no offense to those of you that love jazz, love needles, and love dentists.
Yeah, exactly. You're just
actually, my hell would be being in the dentist chair, getting a needle while jazz is playing over the speakers.
I know.
That would be the worst. That would probably be the worst thing.
Oh, and you don't like cream cheese on your cinnamon rolls?
Oh, God, no. That's probably worse than anything. Here's another thing that gets me is I don't watch a lot of scary movies. In fact, I don't think I watch any scary movies.
Okay.
Because there's the feeling, especially on a lot of the scarier ones, where all of a sudden you tense up. You tense up. Hair on your arms, if you have any, stands up. And it's just this, and you feel like you want to scream, but nothing comes out. The silent scream. It's such a deep panic state of fear.
Yeah.
For me. And I do not like that feeling. And kind of feeling like kind of where we are in the world at the moment as a metaphor in that kind of state of fear.
Yeah.
And in BNI, a lot of our members are sitting in this place.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe not making the best decisions for themselves because they're coming from this place of fear.
And it's the fear of the unknown, which is what scares you in scary movies. It's one of the reasons that Alfred Hitchcock was so brilliant, because those were psychological fear, and you never saw it coming. It was because it was all psychologically and emotionally evoked, right? And it's the unknown. We're afraid of what we don't know.
Right.
And that is where a lot of our BNI members are right now with COVID and their businesses. They're afraid. And so they're making poor decisions out of fear, right? The fear of not having money, the fear of their business closing. There's just all kinds of fear going right now. And you're right. People aren't making really good, sound decisions. They're letting fear make those decisions for them.
Right.
Yeah. So that's never a good thing.
And right now, one of the things when I'm having discussions with members about it, and they say, well, I'm leaving BNI because there's, no joy in Zoom or online, or there's no this. And the alternative to it, the alternative to BNI and networking and building community is nothing.
I know.
It's not there.
Right. It's not there. There's really a multitude of fear going on. There's some people who are terrified of getting COVID, right? They're just terrified of getting COVID. And then there's the other people who are not afraid of getting COVID and are upset and afraid they can't grow their business because they can't meet in person, right? But they're not afraid of getting COVID. They can't see why we're not meeting, right? So there's two different kinds of fear going on in just about any given chapter at the moment. And irregardless of which, and by the way, irregardless is now in the Webster Dictionary.
Yes, it is. I wasn't going to correct you.
Yes. Well, just in case my son hears this,
regardless,
I can use it now, irregardless. Yes. Regardless of what their fear is, the fear is the fear, right? Yeah, and either way, it's going to cause you to make bad decisions. So one of the things I say to people when they're in that state of fear and they're thinking about making decisions is they need to start journaling it. Because with fear, what happens is it's in your head. And it's like, the wheel that the hamster gets on, and it just goes and goes and goes. And the hamster, the faster, goes faster and faster, but it's going nowhere.
Yeah.
It's just loop. It's just a big loop. Fear operates that way in your head. It's a big loop and it just keeps going and going and going and going. But if you can stop and make it stop and pick up your journal or a book or something and just start writing, what is it you're really afraid of? And then just keep digging into that. What are you really afraid of? What will happen if this happens? What's the worst case scenario? Is that practical? Is it really going to happen? What's your alternatives? If you really start to put that down on paper in questions, it will help you make a better decision. And if you're really stuck, you need to get with a business coach and have that conversation with them and see if a business coach can help walk you through. I know you do business coaching. That could definitely be something you could help people walk through, would it not be?
Absolutely. You know, one of the things we say in those moments and work with clients is, and it's perspective, is we're sitting here right now in this great big pile of, let's call it horse manure. I call it something else, but we have maybe some kids watching. We're in this big pile of horse manure right now, and here we are, and it's all surrounding us. And we could do two things. Is number one, go, this stinks, and this is horrible, and this is terrible, and all the negative things, or put that same amount of energy into saying, yes, it still stinks, but what can I create here? What can I do with it?
What can I use with it? Yeah, it's good fertilizer.
What can I do with that? What do I need to do to get out of it? Because it takes no more energy to focus on fear than it does to focus on solutions.
Yeah. What's the solution? But if you're caught up in fear and that fear has you going in that wheel, you have to put a stick in the wheel to make it stop.
Yeah.
Right. And so one of the things I have always used is when I need to make a big decision and I'm really afraid of making a bad decision, I just start journaling it. What's the worst case scenario? If I leave BNI, I walk out of the chapter because I'm upset because they won't meet in person, and I walk out because I don't like it and this is not what I joined for. If I do that, what's going to be the repercussion? What's the value of leaving? What's the value of staying? What's it going to cost me to leave? What's it going to cost me to stay? Right? If I can start doing that, it's like putting the stick in that wheel.
Yeah.
And then I can start making more sound decisions. And it's funny that I just had a guy say to me, the problem is, Hazel, I'm in the kind of business people need to see what I do.
Okay.
Well, actually, no, people need to know who you want to be referred to. I don't need to see what you do. You explain it to me. I understand it. I don't need to see it. I need you to explain to me who you want to be connected to. And I can learn that just as easy online as I do face-to-face. And then this comment, well, we don't build trust on face-to-face. You've been a member of your chapter for 7 years. 7 years. You already have trust. What are you talking about? That it was a comment that made no sense to me. You already have trust. It's a different way of doing business. I will give you that. But it's no less effective. That's a mindset.
Yeah. And I read this stat the other day, a BNI stat, that since January, there are globally over 90,000 new members in BNI. Now, that's not growth in BNI. These are people who weren't in BNI before, and now they are. So when you consider we're almost 12 months into a full cycle, the first 3 months we were in person, a bulk of that came from the last 8-9 months when we weren't face-to-face people. We were in an online format, and they're still doing business.
Yep.
Still building relationships, still building trust.
Yep.
Because their mindset was, I'm going to do this.
Yeah, it's the opportunity right now is the opportunity to activate, to actually utilize and get your network working for you. Right? And use here's the other piece of it, use the tools differently. Most people have social media stuff, but they're not using it.
Yeah.
Right? They're not putting it out there. I can help you. Would you like to attend? Use your social media, use your network online, use your network that you're meeting with, your BNI chapter. Your network is more than one thing. Use your church because you're going to church services online, right? Same thing. You're going to church services online. You're not sitting in a building together anymore.
Yeah. And we're in this for a long haul. This isn't going anywhere anytime soon. So the sooner that you can get into the mindset that and just kind of submit to it, I guess.
It's called,
like it.
Yeah, surrender into change.
Use the system. And it's just like BNI, even in person. Those that fight against the BNI structure and all that tend not to do well. So if you can make the system work for you, regardless of what it looks like, the better off you're going to be.
Correct.
Yeah. So again, mindset, right?
Yeah. You can't let the fear stop you. I highly recommend go pick up a journal. I go through a lot of these. Go pick up a journal and start journaling. What are you afraid of?
Yeah. And to use what you said, take a stick, put it in the hamster wheel, stop the spinning nowhere, and make a different decision.
Yeah.
Just gives you that deep breath to go.
Exactly.
Create something. Cool. So I think, just maybe a place to end right now is on a quote that I got from Ivan. It's the BNI Global Convention, and he did his presentation on his book that he co-authored called Infinite Giving. And one of the things he was saying at the end of his presentation was this, and this is mainly for those members who are thinking about, like, I can't do this in BNI anymore, I'm not getting whatever, is this: don't give up on BNI, because BNI is not giving up on you. And your members are here for you. Your BNI community is here for you. It's up to you to reach out and ask if you need help. But it's also up to us members to reach out to those that we see are struggling and say, hey, I'm here for you. What do you need? How can I help you?
How can we help you?
Perfect. All right, Hazel Walker, it's good to be back.
It is good to be back.
Until next time. Bye, y'all.
Bye.